Welcome to the 7th annual NFTE HT Finals, but virtually. Woo! This is definitely very different, especially for me. This is not how it went last year, but you know what? We're all about adapting. It's one of the nifty mindsets, and we're gonna go through this, and it's gonna be a great time, everyone. All right, so just to go through the schedule one more time, we're gonna start with the judge's introduction, and then we're gonna go on to the pitches. And a reminder that the pitches will be 7 minutes. I will keep track of that, so do not worry. And then the judges Q&A will be about 3 minutes, and I will also keep track of that. Do not worry. So throughout the pitches, for the students, I will be typing inside of the chat how much time you have left, so that I'll also stick up my hand so you can kind of see, but I'll try to make it as easy as possible so that you can all see how much time you have left. And then after that, we'll do the judges' deliberation. So students, you'll hang out with me for a little bit. We'll talk about a few things. We'll have a special guest. And then the judges will come back. The judges will give their feedback. And then we will announce the winners. And hopefully we will all be done with that by 10 o'clock. I will try to keep us on track, everyone. All right. So let's start with the judges' introduction. Judges, if you would like to start.
Alex Rubalcava. I work at Expedia. I'm a product manager. So I actually think through a lot of these like new concepts pretty often. And have I judged before? I have not.
Thank you.
Ken, if you'd like to go next.
Sure. Ken Crothers. Some of you may know my daughter, Kendra, the graduate of Trinity. I just validated that she left in 2009 versus 2012, so that worked out fine. I'm a VP at a company called My Nexus. The company's domiciled in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a national firm, and we do benefit management for health plans, specializing in the Medicare Advantage space. So that's, encapsulating it, that's for elderly people, believe it or not. I've got about 40 years, give or take, in this entire healthcare space, so it's been fun. Most of my assignments have either been as a consultant and or a business development executive, so actually looking forward to this. Sounds like it's going to be fun.
Thank you. Laureen, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am a new business consultant. So I work primarily in the sales arena. I help all different kinds of companies with their sales challenges, and I specifically mentor at 1871, which is Chicago's digital incubator. So all the businesses there are brand new and digitally based. And this is the first time I'm judging, so I'm super excited.
So Nick Kepler, I'm a managing director at Wells Fargo in our corporate and investment banking group. I've been there for just over 16 years. I've been working with Holy Trinity sort of 10 years or so, I guess. I'm on the board of trustees, and I think I've probably judged 3 or 4 different times, although not the finals. So I'm definitely feeling the pressure, particularly with the win last year, Aaron. So excited.
Awesome. And Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Shuda. I work in the sports marketing world, specifically sponsorship. So I manage all the sponsorship deals that our brand has with various NBA, MLB teams, and a couple marathons. And I have never judged before.
Well, welcome, everybody.
Thank you, judges, for waking up early to be here. You all sound like very interesting people. So I love the newness, some new judges, some old judges, some people judging for the final round for the first time. So that is all great. I hope you enjoy the experience just as much as we do. All right, so just to go over the presentation order, first we will have Ryan, and then Susi, and then Monserrat, and then Blessing, and then Haziel, and then Imani. So now to begin with pitching, first we have Ryan.
Did you ever want to write tales of magic and mystery, but didn't know where to start? Hi, my name is Ryan Sarau-Young. I'm the CEO of Fireside, where the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. That feeling that you had when I asked you whether or not you wanted to write tales of magic and mystery, well, that feeling is mutual, as 81% of Americans feel like they can write a book. But many, like I was, didn't know how to. As for me, if it weren't for my mentors guiding me and teaching me how to write creatively, I would have been stuck in the same exact position that I was when I originally wanted to start writing. It even happens with some of the best of us. As short story novelist Joseph Epstein once wrote, to be in the middle of composing a book is almost always to feel oneself in a state of confusion, doubt, and mental imprisonment. This is where Fireside comes in. Fireside is a format, and the purpose of a format is for posts that will be drafts or stories. These drafts and stories will be subsequently commented by other users in the forms of critiques and improvements. So, for example, a user would write a draft for his or her new story, and other users would subsequently critique the draft, allowing for the original user that posted the draft to improve his or her writing. What makes Fireside work is the Impart Thine Wisdom program, in which posts and comments will be ranked by age. Posts will be ranked with the youngest first, as posts are most likely going to be drafts, and therefore allows more younger, inexperienced writers to improve their writing almost immediately. Comments will be ranked with the oldest first, as it not only keeps older accounts more active, but it also, as the name states, it allows them to impart their wisdom onto younger, more inexperienced writers. Comments will also be heavily monitored in order to make sure the comments are both critiques and improvements, and they fit the mantra of the Impart Thine Wisdom program. My target market is a very large market size with about 1.6 million potential users buying this product. How is this? Well, in a study done by Common Sense Media in 2018, 28% of teens said that they write creatively for pleasure. And when I did my surveys, 15% of teens interviewed said that they would be potentially able to buy this product. My customer would be in the 14 to 22 age, or the high school or the college student range, as this is the age in which usually people decide to become interested in creative writing, or they have assignments that are related towards it. He or she would also be interested in creative writing or is already a writer so that he or she could improve his or her horizons. He or she would also live in the United States. And my marketing plan would follow this. For people to become aware of Fireside, I would use Google AdWords targeting writers. I would also buy ads on the App Store, and I plan to advertise via social networks. And my key metric there is about 500 new downloads a month. In order for people to actually buy Fireside, I would also buy ads on the App Store, and I also plan to offer discounts to creative writing and classes at schools. And my key metric there is 75% of people who downloaded Fireside actually subscribed to Fireside. And allowed to keep my customers, I would allow special privileges when a subscription is renewed. And my key metric there is a 50% rescription rate. In my competitive analysis, I found that about 73% of my target market does not use any websites whatsoever in order to improve their writing. The most notable one of my competitors is Camp NaNoWriMo, with about 300,000 users as of 2018. The problem with Camp NaNoWriMo that it is only popular during November and other certain months of the year, but it is most notably popular during November because that is National Writing Month. Another one of my competitors is Critique Circle, with a small number of users, with about 3,000 as of 2020. Critique Circle is a forum website that also runs a subscription service of about $5 a month. Scribbliophile is one of the last competitors, with about 200,000 users as of 2020. Like Critique Circle, Scribbliophile is also a forum website that also runs a subscription service. What are my qualifications? Well, I'm a writer. More specifically, I'm a playwright. I've specifically written 2 productions for my drama club. I've also taken an apprenticeship course in creative writing to both improve it and to explore my horizons. I have taken the Nifty entrepreneurship course, and I'm a part of the executive board for my school's drama club, and I'm a reporter for the school's newspaper. I will be selling Fireside at about $10 per month. With an added with a commission of 30% on the App Store, my total contribution margin will be about $7 a month. with my fixed expenses totaling $1,315, which includes app maintenance, app hosting, insurance, advertising, and utilities. In order to break even every month, I would have to sell about 129 units of Fireside in order to break even. My plans for growth and my plans for philanthropy are this. I plan to offer different lengths of service for subscription. I plan to advertise via Twitter and other social networking apps. I plan to launch a section for adults and or children. I plan to get my app built, and I plan to publish my app. My plans at philanthropy are I plan to work with schools on creating accounts to be used in class, and I plan to get published authors to be critiquers on Fireside, allowing for the younger, more inexperienced writers to improve their writing. And my startup cost of Fireside will be about $36,786. So remember, if you had to remember one thing, that with writing, when it comes to writing, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself with Fireside. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Ryan. And now, judges, you can use the next 3 minutes for your questions.
Hi, Ryan. This is Laureen. Great presentation, and I think the product's really cool. The one thing I'd love to hear a little bit more about is what's different about your app versus the other three that you identify as competitors.
Well, one of the main differences is the apart. Normally, how formats work is that usually the most like for example, Camp NaNoWriMo, it's kind of like it's not really a format which allows for posts and comments. It's more like encouraging you to write. But with like Critique Circle and Scribliophile, it's really popular. How popular you are is like. So like if you're just joining it for the first time, you can't really like have like a number of comments helping you improve your writing. And so with my system, it allows for more younger, inexperienced writers to get help almost immediately.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's really cool. Thank you.
Ryan, Ken, just a quick question.
Yeah.
What would or how would you view your program being a failure?
Can you repeat that question?
The question is, how would you view your program becoming a failure? What would it take for it to fail?
Well, the way that I see it is that in order for Fireside to fail, I would first off, I wouldn't, not break even for the entire year. So I would probably see that as a failure, or someone's writing doesn't improve. Like, because my goal with Fireside is to allow younger, more experienced writers to improve their writing. And if those people don't improve their writing, I would kind of see that as a failure. And I would need to do something in order to make sure that those people get their writing and make sure that their writing improves.
Fair enough.
Hey, Ryan, it's Nick Kepler. Nice job. Quick question on how this compares to a sort of an already existing site like a Reddit or a Medium. I'm not too experienced in either of those, but how do you think about sort of the competition from those and folks being able to sort of just post broadly out and quite honestly, from what it looks like, get a lot of critique and feedback on whatever you write on the internet?
Yeah, well, I post a lot of stuff on Reddit, and I know that the way that you kind of like get noticed is because they have like this ranking system called upvotes, and they kind of like the people that have the most upvotes are the first things that you see. There's a common inside joke among Reddit that you have to sort by new in order to see what other people post, but usually when it comes to like people who do Reddit who just join Reddit because it's a social media network, usually they'll do it by hot. So usually the stuff that's like upvoted higher usually is the first things that you're going to see. Like, for example, there's a subreddit called Writing, and usually drafts and posts aren't, one of the first things that you see. You have to scroll all the way down in order to see it. So I was looking at that. I was like, that's how usually compares to mine. like you would see the first, like the youngest posts by younger users would be the first ones that you see, rather than with Reddit, it's kind of like the ones that are the most liked in a way. Do you understand what I was?
Yep.
And yeah, okay. I was just
Yeah,
making
no, that makes sense. And then, I guess quick follow on. I mean, are there any, not copyright would be the wrong word, but I guess if you post a story and I critique it and maybe send you down another path, and that's all on the sort of the app, are there any claims then that a critiquer could have to the future success of something you wrote? Say you wrote something that won an you won an Oscar, or whatever it is. How do you handle sort of the rights to that stuff?
I with publishing my app, I haven't really thought about that, but I will get to you. It was a good question. I will get back to you later on that. I haven't really thought about like copyright and like the rights of writers at this point. Like I plan to in the near future, but I will get back to you.
And with that, our question Q&A is done. So judges, if you could take this moment just to write down some final things. And then while you're writing down some final things, we'll have Susie get ready to present.
I'm a junior at Holy Trinity High School, and I've already begun to think about my future. And in my future, I imagine myself traveling, having a career in the business field, but also owning a dog. And people that already have to juggle all of that are pretty much stressed out. So you may ask why? Well, they have to worry about their dogs. So who's going to take care of them? Who's going to pick up their waste? Well, my name is Susi Delgado. I am a founder and CEO of Collect Buddy. When the waste is gone, the stress is gone. According to research, a lot of people travel in the world, and a lot of people own dogs. But owning a dog can limit where people travel. Half of them don't even go out of the country. So as Zoya Gervis said in a study of 2,000 pet owners, 80% of pet owners worry about their dog whenever they travel. And they mainly ask, who's going to pick up their waste? It can be really messy. So the clear problems are, there's no time to pick up the waste. It's difficult to travel with a one-piece dog potty, and then finding the right size is even more difficult. That's where Collect Buddy comes in. The solutions are, it's self-cleaning and automatic, so the customer won't have to change the pad every single day. It's a 3-piece or more set that's easy to place in a travel case, and I will explain that more in the next slide. So they can carry that anywhere, and it's really simple to assemble. It's customizable by adding an extra piece, so you don't have to worry if your dog is too big. Here's just a general view of Collect Buddy that I sketched out. As I mentioned before, there's 3 main pieces. As you can see, on the left side, on the bottom right, there's 2 cylinders. Those 2 cylinders go on the 2 holes that are on the left part of the second part. So imagine a puzzle piece. That's how they get on. And then the second piece, on the bottom right, there's 2 cylinders as well. Those 2 cylinders go into the 2 holes of the third piece, like a puzzle piece. Again, that's how you get your one device. Now, you would put in a new roll of pads on the left side. That whole thing will stretch out, and then when the dog does its business and you press a button, that thing will go into and roll out into the third piece. So you may ask, why is it unique? Well, it uses biodegradable plastics. Once all the waste is collected on the right side, you can throw away that whole roll. And don't worry about the plastic in the roll, because that won't harm the earth. So while it wraps up the dirty pads, as mentioned before, it will roll out a new one. They could set up a timer for 1 hour, 2 or 3. It will have animal sensors, so the customer doesn't have to worry if the animal will get hurt. It locks away orders. It's really easy to assemble. It will come with a Collect Buddy travel case, and it saves a lot of hassle replacing training pads every single day. So for my target market, they will mainly live in the United States. They will range from ages 21 and older. They would regularly travel on plane or not, and they spend a fair enough of money. So I did a survey, and 80% of the people said that they would buy it. Those people travel, have a job in the business field, and they own a dog. So for my marketing plan, I would advertise in pet stores, and I would use Google Ads. That way I can get customers from all over the place. And when they first buy their Collect Buddy using a store coupon, it will be 20% off. When they first order it on my website, their next pad will be 20% off. But how will I get them back? Well, I will be selling the pads. I will share their story and feedback on my website. That way they can interact with other customers. And when they refer a new customer, the next pad will be 20% off as well. So my two main competitors are Porch Potty and Brilliant Pad. Porch Potty has a one device set, but it uses either synthetic or real grass. It has a premium and standard. For the premium, it uses a 14-inch garden hose in order to rinse out the water or the urine. And for the standard, it uses a hose or a basin. But the problem is they still have to pick up the poop and they still have to rinse the grass. So honestly, what's the point? And then comes Brilliant Pad. It's also a one-piece device. And while it rolls inward the dirty pad on one side, it rolls out the new one, like mine. But the problem is it's only for small dogs and it's really difficult to travel with. And that's where Collect Buddy comes in. Since it's a 3-piece or more device and it comes with a travel case, they can travel with it anywhere. And because you can add a new piece, you don't have to worry if your dog is too big. According to research, my industry is growing each year. A lot of people spend enough money on their dogs. So I know that once my product comes out and they see that I can solve their problem, then they'll buy it. Why am I qualified? Well, I've taken business courses. I'm currently taking the NFTE one. I am the president of a committee at my high school, and I've attended Smith Summer Science and Engineering program. I've spoken on the Whitney City Live TV channel to talk about a ComEd program I was in, and I'm also an ambassador of a nonprofit organization in Chicago. I will get an MBA, and I'm an empathetic dog owner. That's me on stage talking in front of 1,000 people, and those are my 2 dogs that I really love. So after talking to my uncle, who's an engineer and architect, I did these calculations. My variable material expenses will be about $90. My fixed expenses will be $10,320. I will be selling a 1 unit for $150, and my contribution margin will be $40. To break even, I would have to sell on 258 units. So currently, I am working with my uncle who is doing a 3D prototype. I am doing a website. I plan to have this sold worldwide, and I plan to have it sold in all stores, not just pet stores. Once I have enough of profit, I would like to give some money to like dog shelters. I would also like to have this release the stress from my customers. And when I grow up, I wouldn't want to have to choose between my work and my dog. Thank you for listening. And again, Collect Buddy, when the waste is gone, the stress is gone.
All right. Thank you, Susie. Now, judges, you can take the next 3 minutes to do Q&A.
Hey, this is Amanda. I have 2 questions, actually. The first is this just engineered for dogs, or does it work for other pets as well?
So for right now, I'm just targeting dogs. If it becomes actually successful, then I would totally look into other pets.
Cool. Okay. And then the second question is, in terms of sales, are you looking more at selling in brick and mortar stores like a Petco or a specialty animal store, or online via a Chewy or something else? Or do you think one is going to drive more profit than the other? What do you think that kind of looks like?
So for right now, I am planning on pet stores and online because I'm working on the website, because in pet stores, well, they'll already be there and that's where I'll get more attention. And on the websites, well, since I'll be using also Google ads, then I will get them to like go to the website. So I'm totally going to do both. But for now, just pet stores and on a website.
Cool. Nice job.
Thank you.
Susie, Ken Crothers.
Hello.
How are you? Good job, honestly.
Thank you.
In your competitive analysis, you cited 2 competitors.
Yes.
Made reference to what some of their eyesores might be, so to speak, their flaws, and you categorized that your product had no flaws. Mm-hmm. Are you sure of that?
Yes, I'm sure. I did enough of research, and I saw their flaws. I saw some customer feedback and made sure that what they had a problem with, I can find a solution to. So after looking through it, yeah.
Super. To that end, if the product were going to fail, why would it fail?
It would fail because probably it would not relieve the stress for the customers. But if that's the case, I would try to find why. Like, why are they stressed? Why isn't it working out for them? And then totally work on that. So maybe it's the length of the pads. I would have to change that, which is no problem. Or just maybe the way it's set up in the travel case. I would look more into that. So that would be why it would fail.
Super. Always good to have a fallback.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see this, but my puppy just jumped up, so I think that she approves.
Oh, my dog's right next to me, so yeah, he's very supporting me. Oh, so cute.
Susie, I have a question about the target market. I don't have a dog, but
Okay.
I think of a pet pad or something like yours as exclusively for little dogs. You know, like my only friend, like I think about my, because most of my friends have dogs. You know, when they if they take the dog when they travel, they go somewhere where the dog can go outside, right? Because that's what the dog does at home. So, but my friends with like the little teacup dogs, you know, they are the ones that I know have this kind of product. So I guess my question is the market for this really all dog owners, or is it small owners of small dogs?
So my product is for all dog sizes, so it'll be for all dog owners. There's one set for small dogs, so it wouldn't be a problem. But because of the way the system works, they can just buy a new piece. And once they buy that new piece, since it's really easy to assemble, they don't have to worry their dog is too big.
But a dog will use it, right?
Yes, it will have like a scented thing, so they can like know to pee there. So no worries.
Okay. All right, thank you, judges, and thank you, Susie. Susie, you did great. Judges, while you take this moment to write down your final thoughts, we can have Monserrat get ready to present.
Have you guys ever felt overwhelmed, or someone has made you feel mad, sad, or even all those negative emotions? Well, UFEEL is here. Hi, I'm the CEO and founder of UFEEL, Monserrat Estrada. Get your daily dose of UFEEL. So nowadays, teenagers tend to use toxic and unhelpful coping mechanisms for the emotional stability. They can even use withdrawal, isolation, excessive video game playing, obsessive thinking, overeating, and even get to extremes such as alcohol and drugs. So according to the DBSA, it says depression is the cause of over 2/3 of 30,000 reported suicides in the US each year. So UFEEL is trying to help teenagers coping with negative emotions / thoughts, teaching teenagers healthier exercises to manage stressful situations, motivating them, bettering themselves, and being able to communicate with others in a better way. So in my app, there will be tips on how to cope with negative emotions. The user will have exercises and advice on how to cope with them. And another thing is that my app will have a support system, so the teenager won't feel alone. The user will put someone's number in the app in the beginning of the app. So when you do the survey, the user will have to put someone's number. It's not a choice. You must have at least one number, and the person will be notified if the user isn't making any progress in the app. So another thing is that there will be a journal. So the user will have a choice to take a 21-day challenge. And the 21-day challenge is about writing down every single day and something you're grateful of. And I've done my research, and it says that's very helpful to see like the positive thing every single day. And you have to at least put 3 things in what you're grateful of every single day. That's a choice, but if the user doesn't want to do that, well, it could be just regular journal and just write about what they've been feeling and things like that. So again, I'm going to be targeting teenagers, and my research has said that there's 42 million adolescents in the US, but I'm mostly targeting 13 through 18-year-old. And I'll be targeting teenagers that have a hard time coping with their negative emotions, teenagers that have had depressive episodes in the past or even in the present right now. So my marketing plan, so I'm going to put ads on social media because I know that's where teenagers are mostly in right now. So when I did my research, 72% of teenagers are in Instagram. So I'm mostly going to put ads on Instagram. And my app will be free, so anyone can download it, and can be downloaded on Apple or Play Store. And I want to share the effectiveness of my app. So there will be feedback about from teenagers about how it has helped them and things like that. And I would like to update my app regularly with new features so the customers could come back. So my competitive analysis. So there's some of my competitors are Dailyo, Word to Watch, and MoodKit. So Dailyo is a journaling and mood tracking app. You can track your mood without having to type it. And you could choose videos in order to reflect your mood at the moment. And Word to Watch is an app that can help you manage your anxiety by being able to turn your thoughts into positive ones. And the app has and MoodKit has an app that has 4 sections, and each one has different things depending what you need. So it has journaling, activities, moods, and other things as well. But a lot of the things that these don't have is a support system, which is I know that a lot of teenagers need at the moment when they're in very stressful situations. But a lot of the mood apps don't have that, and they try to push teenagers to do it alone. Or not only that, but a lot of mood apps a lot of the mood apps don't have that support system that UFEEL has, or they just focus on one thing. So a lot of them focus on PTSD only, or anxiety, or depression, but UFEEL it focuses on the overall negative emotions and not just one specific thing. So I'm qualified because I'm an assistant researcher for NUGO Kidney Northwestern program, a volunteer and leader of a support group. So let me talk to you more about that. So basically, I've seen firsthand and how it is hard for teenagers to cope with those negative emotions, and how it's hard for them to manage them. And UFEEL, I want UFEEL to help them to be able to release that stress that they've had. So I've seen firsthand and what it's like for them to be motivated sometimes, and not even have the support system at all sometimes. And I'm also planning to study psychology and neuroscience. I took the BSTEM program. I'm currently taking the NFTE Entrepreneurship course, and I'm a member of the National Honor Society. So again, my app is going to be free. So that means my definition of 1 unit is going to be 1,000 ad impressions. And my selling price is $280. My fixed expenses is going to be $2,028, which means insurance, Wi-Fi, advertising, annual fee, app maintenance, and my variable expense is 30% download fee in the App Store, which is 84 cents, which then doing all the math is going to be my monthly break-even units is going to be 1,035 units. So my current status is I'm currently going to develop a prototype, and my plans for the future is to update my app with new features. We'll want to spread in other countries because I'm only focusing on the US at the moment. And my plans for philanthropy is to help teenagers better their moods, help them use more healthier coping mechanisms. Thank you. Again, this is UFEEL. Get your daily dose of UFEEL.
All right. Thank you, Monserrat. And now the judges, you can take the next 3 minutes to do Q&A.
Quick question. Good job, first of all. So my question is around, like, who's going to be providing the advice and like experiences or exercises? Like, where are you going to be getting that content?
I guess so basically it's already going to be in there. So like I'm going to be providing it mostly because I'm going to be the one designing my app. So it's already going to be in there. So it's going to be categorized by the way you feel. So if you're mad, here's some exercises, or if you're sad, here's some exercises or tips and things like that in order to manage it. So basically but it's going to be based off, of course, research and things like that. That's in research and separate research that's going to be put into it about like how I'm going to be able to manage, how each emotion is going to be able to be managed according to their effectiveness in other patients and other people, basically.
I have a question. Nice job also. So, you know, it's a little bit of a sensitive territory because if someone's feeling, you know, severe emotions and it may be leading to something more serious like depression or something psychological or whatever that may be, how would you handle a situation like that? How would the app still support those people and get them kind of the resources and the next step they need?
I guess they have, so another thing that my app is going to do is basically, so again, my app is going to take all that, take a lot of the information that they put in the survey in the beginning. So it's going to be able to, the app is going to be able to know them a little better. So if they have had like severe depressive episodes in the past or even in the present, it will have like, the tips and like exercises are going to be way different than someone that's only felt sad or has only felt mad, or like there is not as severe as them. So it will be different for them. A lot of things are going to be different than someone that doesn't have like those depressive episodes as severe as the another person. You get. Yeah.
Monserrat, it's Ken. And good job. Very sensitive area, obviously. So really, two questions, and I don't know that they're necessarily going to be questions, but it's something that I would imagine you have thought through and you have an answer for. One is the liability of your product, and two would be, how are you addressing PHI given the environment that we find ourselves in the healthcare space? First question is, how are you going to address liability?
Can you explain to me more? Sorry.
Sure. If your app were to lead after a review of but let's say a student was on the app and it led them to a manic situation where they became suicidal, spur of the moment. In the world of healthcare, you're going to have liability. So the question has to be, how are you going to address that liability? And that's a very unique situation, but it's a real situation.
Yeah, I guess. So when you go into the app, you have to, when the user has to go to the app, you have to put your mood. So I mean, it's gonna track your mood. So even if you're doing very bad, I mean, the app is going to, is going to contact that person or whoever you put, so that person will be able to keep a track of you. So at least you'll have someone to support you. And not only that, but like probably for future features, I'll probably put something like call not only the supportive person, but also like someone such as probably a doctor, the police or something, if it does come to the point where the person is suicidal and it's come to that point where it's not something just not something that they're just sad, but something more serious.
And with that, Q&A time is up. So judges, while you put your finishing touches on your notes, Blessing will get ready to present.
Did you know that 6.2 million children have asthma? Well, I had asthma all my life. Even though I had asthma for 17 years, I still have a hard time realizing when my asthma symptoms are getting worse. When I do realize my symptoms are getting worse, it's often too late and I end up in the hospital having an asthma attack. The app Asthma Relief is used to prevent asthma symptoms from getting worse. Asthma Relief allows for a team to track their symptoms by logging how many times they use their inhaler a day and why they use it. Using why they use the inhaler, the app tracks it daily to show progress how a person's symptoms are, if they are good, mild, and bad. At that point, the app will tell you to go to the ER. The app will also have videos on how to properly use an inhaler and why it's important to take the inhaler. Hi, my name is Blessing Nkezea, the founder and CEO of Asthma Relief, more than just a breath. My problem opportunity. 6.2 million children have asthma, with 1.8 million ER visits due to asthma attacks. Asthma symptoms worsen over time, and there's no tool to prevent children from their symptoms from getting worse. So I decided to create an app. Asthma Relief is an app that allows teens to track their symptoms, track daily symptom progress, as well as the educational piece to it, meaning videos on how to properly use an inhaler. I added this because I, for one, have friends who don't know how to properly use an inhaler, and by them not knowing how to properly use an inhaler, they're not getting the medication they need. As well, educational asthma, such as like why they need to take their inhaler, the FAQs of why it's important to take their inhaler, and a mobile action plan. My underlining magic. I have two pieces of underlying magic. My first one is daily login, meaning allow for the app to track progress. Without a teenager logging into the app won't be able to help the teenager. So the daily login includes notifications, meaning there's 3 different notifications: friendly, strong, and sound. The first one, friendly, is basically the first notification that person gets saying log into the app. And then if a teenager does not log into the app, a strong notification will be sent, meaning it will be in all caps, log into the app. Again, if a teenager doesn't log into the app, a sound one will go in, meaning that in all caps it'll say log into the app with a being noise. And then if a teenager still doesn't log into the app, that will constantly keep saying notification until the person logs into the app, because the app wants to make for sure they're logging in every day so they can track their progress. The second piece is the app is based for teens. There's no asthma app that's specifically made for teens. Apps out there is for anybody to use, and doesn't really have it's not beneficial for a teenager. My target market. My market size is 300,000, which is about how many teenagers in Illinois who have asthma. Once again, my demographic is teenagers, and my geographic is Illinois. My marketing plan. So my awareness is that I'm going to use ads to get my app out there, meaning I'm going to use medical websites, more specifically pediatrics, meaning asthma. I'll go through app promotion after teens telling other teens, as well as physicians telling teenagers to use this app to help them with their asthma. The notifications I receive and the features, and my key matrix will be 500 clicks from websites. 9% of those clicks that come from downloading the app, as well 91% of customers will be actively using my app. My competitive analysis, again, my app is Asthma Relief, and my factors are mandatory check-in and track, and it's made for teens. While my three competitors, such as Asthma, shows how the lungs look during attack, and there's no tool. Meaning, if you were to download the app, you'll see that it just shows you how lungs will look during attack. There's no tool to help a person get their asthma steady or control it. While asthma gives you two options, a reminder or episode assistance as well, and you can use the app. Reminders basically will tell somebody when to take their inhaler, and basically when to take their inhaler at what time. But for that app, you can basically use your calendar if you want to get a reminder, or if you have an iPhone, there's a health department on the health app, and you can use that. And episode assistance, I opinionally do not understand it, because if you were to have an episode, you wouldn't go into the app to get help on assisting your asthma attack. You'll call 911 or go straight to ER. And the last one is for telehealth, meaning which is an app that has a tool that's put on the inhaler and has an app. Basically, one, Propeller Health costs money. Secondly, if you were to use Propeller Health and you have an inhaler and you were to lose the tool that goes in your inhaler, you won't be able to use the app anymore, because you don't have your inhaler nor the tool. My qualifications: 1, I have asthma. I'm in the NFTE class, National Honor Society Student Ambassadors, and I went to Smith College over the summer for their science and engineering program. My definition of 1 unit is advertisement. I want my app to be free because I know teenagers are not going to be willing to pay for an app. My selling price is $25 with a contribution margin of $17.50, with a monthly break even of 308 units. With a percentage of ad cost of 30%, that 30% of my selling price will be $7.50, with a fixed expenses of $5,402.50. My plans for growth. So I will include paid features onto my app, and how I would do this is by seeing what can be better about my app and what can also be added, as well as sending surveys into the app to see what teams would like to see on the app more, and what could be better, what else could be added and added to the app. And as well to include a chat that allows teens to connect with other teenagers with asthma. Meaning I'll have like a chat box where teens can tell each other like how they're doing, how their asthma affected them and stuff like that. As well to expand where the app can be used other than Illinois. Meaning that I want that to be more outside of Illinois, because I know there's a more teenage asthma population with teenagers with more severe asthma in other states. And once again, my name is Blessing Nkezea, the founder and CEO of Asthma Relief, more than just a breath.
Thank you, Blessing. And now, judges, you can take the next 3 minutes for Q&A.
Hey, Blessing, it's Nick Kepler. Nice job, and certainly you have firsthand experience on how this can be useful. Just a quick question on sort of the medical background, I guess. You didn't mention maybe consulting with, a healthcare physician or sort of somebody with a medical degree in the background helping, set up parameters in the app. Have you got that far yet? And or what are your plans to sort of seek formal medical guidance for the app?
Well, my mentor works with like respiratory it's a respiratory doctor, and so I was gonna ask her to see what can I do for my app, or like how to reach out more.
I have a quick question. Good job. So in terms of your marketing plan, are you going to be marketing directly to the teens or to like their parents or their doctors?
I'm trying to do all three, but mostly I'm trying to see doctors because teenagers will more listen to them will listen to them because they're their physician and they will trust them, as well teens, because teens listen to other teens and they're most likely going to listen to what they have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Blessing, Ken Crothers as well. And good job. And again, I think we all agree. You got firsthand experience. It doesn't get any better than that. Have you gone through any process to have this resource not only validated, but also sanctioned, so to speak, by the, say, organization like the FDA, et cetera?
Can you explain what you mean?
The device that you're selling most likely is going to have to go through a validation process and be authorized. The Federal Drug Administration, et cetera, organizations like that who see resources like this all the time, and they want to make sure that those resources are compliant, et cetera. So that's just really a basic question. Have you decided, or have you gone through that process as of yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to look into it.
Good to know.
I have a quick question. I really liked your presentation, so thank you.
Thank you.
When you showed the financial worksheet, what do you mean when you say it has I wrote it down here, $25 sale price? Because it's free, right?
Yeah.
So what's the $25?
The selling price is from app stores, because I want my app to be free. I don't want teenagers paying for it. So I have to have a selling price of how much my ad would be, so I can also make money off of it as well. Because if it's free, I'm not going to get money off of it.
Okay, so $25 is the ad revenue, the money you think you're going to make from ads every time somebody downloads it? Is that how that works?
How much the ad will cost.
How much an ad will cost on the app. Okay, great. Thank you. I didn't understand that. Great.
All right, and with that, Blessing, you did amazing. Judges, while you wrap up your notes, we'll have Haziel get ready to present.
Have you ever felt bad for the visually impaired and wish they had an efficient tool to move around without any complications and in a safe way? Well, I do. Unfortunately, I witnessed an accident involving a blind person. He wasn't so sure as to where he was walking, walked straight onto traffic, and caused a big car crash involving 4 cars. There are people in this world who have impaired vision, who have to go out of their homes and complete normal tasks, but may put themselves in dangerous situations without knowing. But hi, my name is Haziel Sanchez, the CEO of Fireside, and I have the right and advanced solution for this problem. As I have said, the problem I'm focusing on is people with impaired vision who have to travel from place to place with very little hope or no hope at all. As you may see, in the US, we have a large number of employed blind people. Value proposition. So the reason why my product will be better than others is first for the simple reason that those who may not like to stand out or would like to look different than others won't have to. My device is a smart cap, which people would just put on like a normal hat, and the only thing they would have to really do is adjust an earbud that I would explain later. The underlying magic. So my product, as I said, is a smart cap. It includes radar sensors, a smart chip, an AI camera, and an earbud for the communication system. The radar sensors will detect the distance of the objects surrounding the person. The AI cameras will identify what the actual object is, and with the earbud, we will communicate to the person what's going on around them. And the smart chip will connect the three of these systems together. So target market. So overall, I'm looking at people with impaired vision, but I'm really focusing on those who have to work and step out of home. And then I'm also looking at students with like who are older, maybe in college or high school, who don't really have a caretaker, but still have to go to school every day. On the right, we can see that in the US, there's around 12 million people with impaired vision. And like I said, 44% of them are employed. Marketing plan. So I will be advertising my product on social media and on social media, but I will be targeting like family or people who have like friends who may have impaired vision or just other people they know. So I will be selling my product on Amazon and Facebook, and then I will also have other types of advertisements in hospitals, clinics, and some type of eye doctors. Um, I will I would also have reviews for those people who have family members with impaired vision before they buy, so that before they buy their product, they can see what my company and product is about. So competitive analysis. As I have researched my competition, I have noticed that most of these products have very simple functions with things like vibrating watches from Racing or screen readers from JAWS Inspect, and the same canes that have been used for a while from Ambutech. But the reason why my product is better, like I said, is because of all the technology it has in it. It's going to give it accuracy and precision. So my qualifications. Well, I have experience with dealing and pricing. My dad, he has an landscaping company, and he has given me sometimes the authority to put prices on different types of jobs, which helps me to learn how to uh, deal with clients and different types of jobs. I'm also planning to take an advanced thinking honors course and a robotics course, which will help me to make my product in a more easy way. And I will also be able to manage my company very easily. I'm also a quick problem solver, making it hard for any situation, any unexpected situation that comes to me, hard to affect any future plans that I have. I have also had experience with selling products to people, whether it was in a raffle or selling at my aunt's own store. The cost structure. So the definition of one unit, I would have one carrying side cap, which will go for a selling price of $200. My variable material expense is $136, and you can see all my materials there on the right. My fixed expenses will go for a total of $170, and in order for me to break even, I will have to sell 3 units a month. Current status and future plans. Well, for plans of growth, in additions for my company, I would like to have own company website. This will make it easier for people to look at my products, buy them, and see what my company is about. I would also like to include a payment plan for students or adults of low income who may not be able to pay the product right away. I would also like faster means of shipping because I know I'm starting off in Amazon and Facebook, which sometimes take a long time to get the products to people. Plans for the device. I would like to have different models of the carrying side device. So not just a cap, but maybe something like a vest, which was one of my original ideas. I would also like to have a more advanced software, meaning more functions for the device. One of the functions that I'm looking at is the GPS mode, which would pretty much tell the people where they're going and in a more easy way, and they won't have to worry about where they're at or what's going on. So once again, my name is Haziel Sanchez, CEO of Caring Side, and with the CSC, we got your back. Thank you.
All right, great job, Haziel. Judges, you can take the next 3 minutes to do Q&A.
Hi, this is Lorene. I really love your product. It's very cool. Can you walk me through, if I put this hat on, what the experience would be, like how how the radar would work with, I didn't really get like how the earbud, like what I get through that earbud. Could you explain the experience for the user?
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, the user pretty much just puts on the hat, they adjust the earbud. And so from the smart chip system, there's going to be like a memory card, pretty much telling the person what's around them. The AI cameras will identify the object. So if you see a dog, there's a dog walking towards you. The what the earbud will do from the communication system, it will tell the person there's a dog. And with the radar sensors, since we know the distance of the dog, there's a dog 50 feet in front of you, or there's a dog 5 feet in front of you. There's a person standing 5 feet away from you. That's pretty much what the product will do.
And is that done through a machine, or is that done through a human that's watching what the camera
It's
sees?
done through the little machines. There's 3 systems: the radar sensors, the AI cameras, and the communication system. They're all connected with the smart chip that I will be using.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another kind of operational functional question. So with the earbuds that speak to you, they're not noise canceling, right? They can still take in sounds that are around them, because you want to obviously take that into account with your kind of what you're perceiving.
Correct. And it will also just be one earbud, so that the other ear would also be like free for them to hear what's going on around them.
Got it. And have you thought about selling this in other places versus like kind of more direct to consumer like an Amazon, but like maybe places that those who are visually impaired go to for, you know, to shop other products, or that they're a little more used to?
Yeah. So, well, like I said, also I've been thinking about my own website, and yes, I was looking into like businesses or clinics that may have like these products being sold for these this community.
Cool. Great.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Nick. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say that's a pretty awesome product, and your ability to tie it to an experience that you've had makes it certainly more meaningful, and certainly doesn't sound like, you know, something you probably roll out here, you know, day one. It's going to take some you know, sort of massaging to get it to market and to where it's fundamentally safe. But the idea itself, to me, seems awesome.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. So you said you were selling these for $200 a piece, and you said that you break even after sales of 3. It's obviously like a pretty high tech like product. So like, how are you breaking even with just the sale of 3 hats?
So my contribution margin, it was $64, making it easier for the units to be lower. But I am also like looking into adding more to my fixed expenses to make my contribution, my units of sale higher per month, because I see that like the numbers are a little bit lower than they maybe should be.
All right, and with that, thank you, Haziel. You did great. Judges, as you put your final touches on your notes, we'll have Imani go ahead and get ready.
Hello, my name is Imani Gonnigan, and like many low-income families, I don't live in the best neighborhood. One day in my neighborhood, there was a drive-by shooting and a woman was shot in the face while holding her child. Nobody knew what to do and nobody knew how to help her, and I wanted to do something to fix this because I thought something like that should never happen. So upon doing research, I found out that 98% of people acknowledge how important CPR and first aid skills are, but less than 30% of those people actually have the first aid skills and knowledge. 24% of those people would do nothing and wait for help to come, while 59% of those people don't even feel confident in trying. In 2017, 20% of emergency patients' deaths were caused due to traffic jams. So I wanted to figure out, how can I help people take care of themselves before emergency services arrive? And what can I do to give people the power to feel confident and the knowledge to help? And that is where my business idea came from. Insight is a solar power safety system and an accessible box that gives you the power to keep yourself safe in as many situations as possible. As you can see here, I made a digital design of Insight. It has 3 buttons on the side, which I will explain in the next slide. And my idea for Insight is to have it at the end of every street corner, so that way it can have continuous feed. With Insight, you are able to file police reports and give personal statements through the microphone. It gives you as much information on first aid and CPR as possible. You can differentiate between 911 and 311 services that you need. If you feel like you're being followed, you could activate an SOS panic system, and it has a camera that's always recording. Now, I know a lot of people do not like this because privacy in your neighborhoods, which is why it was important for me to make sure that the camera reloops over itself after every 4 hours, so it's always having new feed and it doesn't have old feed. And that way you're not always being recorded. The only time something is sent to the police is when you click the help button or the 911 button, and the police automatically know your location. My target market are aldermen in privileged neighborhoods looking for the opportunity to give their citizens a chance to protect themselves. I want to go in privileged and underprivileged neighborhoods because I realize that things happen everywhere. Kids could be riding a bike and fall off the bike and break their arm. It's not just for violence, it's just to help you in all first aid situations. My plan will be to market through aldermen, because when aldermen put things in neighborhoods, they have to notify the people of what's going on. So aldermen will get through the people, and the people will find out about my product. My measurement of success will be the uses of Insight and how many people use Insight throughout the month and on a constant, consistent basis. The way people will purchase it is through me. Insight costs $6,000, way less than Blue Light at $7,500. It's in your neighborhood, so you have access to it. You can use it, while Blue Light isn't in your neighborhoods. It has a variety of features for first aid. You can differentiate between EMS services. It has an emergency phone and a panic system, while Blue Light only has an emergency phone, 911 panic system. I am an honor scholar, and I was in the NHS. I owned many businesses before, and I lived in the problem. I was a junior counselor for Brush Creek Ranch in Wyoming, where people have to leave their kids with me and I have to take care of their kids as a junior counselor with other counselors. With that being said, it means I have strong leadership skills and I understand. The definition of 1 unit. 1 unit of Insight costs $6,000. That's what I'm selling it at. It cost me $4,800 to make it, which means with my fixed expenses at $760, my break even, I need to sell 1 unit, and I would be in profit $1,153. My current and future plans for Insight is I want to expand, starting with college campuses. I want to make an app so that people feel comfortable using it from their phones and they don't have to go up to the boxes. I want to make a website to go with it, and I wanted to have a gun detection and a face detection system. That way, with the gun detection system, it will recognize if a gun is in an area that doesn't need to have a gun, and the face detection system will allow people to know if it has a conceal and carry. If the gun is in an area that doesn't need, that is in a no gun area, then the box will go off. I want to partner with humanitarian organizations such as the Red Cross to make my first aid system way better. I wanted to have a better kidnapping and panic system, so if somebody is being snatched up, or if it noticed somebody being snatched up, the box goes off immediately when it notices struggle. And I want it to be in more states. I want it to be everywhere, and I want it to be on like tracks and things like that. Thank you so much. And I just want you to remember Insight, giving you the power to stay safe. This is important to me because I want to make sure that everyone has the power to stay safe. And I want to make sure that everyone knows how to take care of themselves before the police arrive. It's important to put ourselves first and our children and the people around us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Imani. And now, judges, you have 3 minutes to do Q&A.
Hi, Imani. I love your enthusiasm and the product. So when you started explaining in the beginning what the problem was, I thought you were going the direction of, all the, like, people want to help when they see something happen and they're not properly trained. So, and then when you explain the product, it sounds broader than that, which I think is great. But I'm kind of going back to, could you explain a little how this box helps, you know, like you said, if you're in your house and you see something happen, how does it help me help the victim?
So with the box, what you get to do is you go up to the box and you basically press 911. Like, let's say if it's an emergency situation and someone passes out on the street due to like an uncertified problem, you go up to the box and you press 911 and it sends services immediately. You use the microphone to say the problem, so you could say someone passed out, and then it will give you step-by-step instructions like how to monitor them and what to do as you do it. So it's going to be like live feed coming through the microphone as you use it when you go up to the box.
So
And
the 911 operator is giving you directions on what to do.
No. So you press 911 and it will alertify the police immediately. So it lets the box know that this is an emergency situation. And when you do go up to the box and you like say the problem and you say someone passes out, the box will like have like, I guess, a robotic voice, and it will tell you step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. I want it to automatically be programmed in.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Imani, Ken Crothers, good job.
Thank you.
And just quick question. Have you approached the Chicago PD, et cetera, for support on this project?
So I have approached aldermen, and I have been waiting for their response due to the outbreak of the COVID-19. It's been hard to get responses from people. So right now I have contacted a lot of people and I'm just waiting for their responses.
Fair enough. We're all waiting.
Yeah.
All right, Imani, you did great. Thank you very much. So judges, again, you can take this time to give some general feedback or person to person. It is completely up to you. But take this time and say what you will. Thank you.
I just wanted to say I thought the presentation skills overall, recognizing this is such a difficult environment that we all find ourselves sitting in random places in front of a computer screen, I thought they were all very good. In fact, I would say, you know, these were the best in terms of speaking and cadence and passion overall that I've seen, having judged a few of these. Maybe it's a little harder to stand up in front of people in person in school, and I get that. So, you know, maybe it's made today a little bit easier, but in terms of polish and understanding and knowing your slides and having practiced, strong job, everyone, for what you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I mean, there's a lot of people in the working world that have been in the working world for a while and cannot present nearly as well as all of you did. So kudos on that. And then I think you all really supported it well. Not only did you have a passion for what you were doing, but you had the research and the sort of feasibility and all the backleg work that needed to go into that. So just the whole picture was really impressive. It made the decision pretty hard.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, I thought that the fact that everyone had done a lot of research around their competitors and were able to answer some pretty tough questions put a lot of trust in the fact that you understood your product and you were passionate about it. And I think Ryan may have done this at the beginning, but when you don't know the answer to a question, it's totally valid to say, I don't know this right now. Really great question. This is something that I'm going to look into. So don't be afraid to do that sometimes, because everybody does it.
I, like all the other judges, I was really impressed with your presentation skills and your enthusiasm. The other thing that stood out to me, I loved hearing how a lot of your ideas came from a personal story. You know, you used what your life experiences taught you about a need, and you dug in and are trying to help other people with something that you think is really important. So I love that aspect of a lot of these ideas. So great job.
Kids, Ken, you guys are all winners. You did a good job. You know, there's no winners, there's no losers. There's it's your passion, it's what you believe, it's how you go about telling your story. So you'll get better at that as time goes on. But from the heart, you all did a good job. So people who are moving forward, get better, keep doing what you're doing. People who aren't, just know, hey, tomorrow's a new day.
If you are not one of the two advancing right now in this, there's wildcard opportunities out there for all of you. And so don't get too down on yourselves right now. Okay, and you are all winners. You did amazing. I'm really proud of you, really proud of how we are still pushing forward through a competition virtually. So it's, you guys are rock stars.
Yes. And then on that note, it is time, everyone. So the winners are
Drum roll.
Ryan and Haziel.
Hey. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you both.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you, guys.
So good. I mean,
See, there's Hazi. Where's Ryan? Is Ryan on there somewhere?
Yes.
There you are. Okay.
Congratulations, you guys. Again, this is such an exciting experience. So many things are going to happen now. I'm so happy for you both, but also HT in general. I mean, you guys have wild card opportunities. And like we mentioned in our personal chat, we're HT. We got those spots, okay? So make sure you apply. I want to see as many HT people as possible in that next round. But thank you guys again. I'm so happy you guys allowed me to be a part of your experience. And yeah, if there are any other things, Ms. Masali, that you want to leave off on?
No, just want to thank the judges again. Thank you so much for doing this virtually and coping with technology and everything else. So we really appreciate it. This is a first for us. We live streamed, and I did get a text from a couple people, or an email. So the live stream was working, so people were able to see us. So that's awesome and amazing, and another first for Holy Trinity. So thank you so much, students and judges, and thank you, Alex and Scott, also for being here to support us as always. So see everybody soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Be healthy, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.